I'm going to tell you a harsh truth. Most people, no matter how hard they try, may never achieve financial freedom in their lifetime. Now, this isn't about selling you fear. It's a painful fact. You work overtime, you save every penny, you study personal finance, yet you always feel like wealth is just impossibly far away. Have you ever wondered if maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't your effort, but your habits? Today, we read diving into a book that completely changed my perspective on wealth, The Habits of the Rich. The author spent 5 years studying 177 self-made millionaires and 128 people struggling with poverty. And he discovered that the reason the rich are rich isn't about their family, luck, or even raw intelligence. It's about those tiny, seemingly insignificant habits they stick to day in and day out. The power of this book is that it uses real data and case studies to turn that old saying, "Habits change destiny," into concrete, actionable steps. This isn't some fluffy motivational speech. It's a practical manual for building wealth. I dare say, if you truly listen to this video and put its advice into practice, even just 1 or 2 points could start to shift the entire trajectory of your life. So, I suggest you like and save this video. When you feel lost or tempted to give up, watch it again. It'll be that shot in the arm you need to get back on track. And if you find it helpful, feel free to share it with the people you care about, because powerful knowledge deserves to be seen. The book is packed with insights, but today, I'm going to share the 3 most game-changing habits you can start building right now. These are the underlying logic of daily habits, the rules for managing relationships, and the core strategies for accumulating wealth. Let's start with the first point, the hidden logic behind daily habits. The author Thomas Corley found that the wealthy people he studied shared some very specific daily routines. For example, 76% of them do at least 30 minutes of aerobic exercise every day. Over 80% focus on achieving one single goal at a time. And they all read for 15 to 30 minutes a day, not for fun, but to learn, devouring books on self-improvement, business, and history. You might be thinking, I know all that, it's just self-discipline, right? No, it goes so much deeper. Their real purpose is to lower your life's risks and constantly increase your odds of getting lucky. What does that mean? Let me share a case from the book about a wealthy man named Mark. Every morning at 5 a.m., the first thing he did was spend 30 minutes reading industry reports. He kept this up for 20 years. This habit allowed him to spot subtle market shifts long before his competitors. One day, he found a tiny mention of a new material in a report, took decisive action, and his company seized a massive opportunity for growth. Others saw it as luck. But for Mark, it was the inevitable result of his daily reading habit. This is the first secret of wealthy habits. They're not just about time management. They're about risk management and probability enhancement. Your daily exercise lowers your risk of future medical bills. Your daily learning increases your odds of catching the next big break. Focusing on one goal prevents you from wasting energy on dead ends. Now let's flip that. What are many of our daily habits? Waking up and scrolling on our phones for half an hour, absorbing useless, fragmented information. Collapsing on the sofa after work to binge-watch TV shows. These poor habits are also working, but they're working against you. They expose you to risks like poor health and job insecurity, while drastically lowering your chances of encountering good fortune. So take a moment and think, are your daily actions reducing risk and attracting luck? Or are they piling up risk and pushing luck away? Changing your destiny doesn't start with some grand, sweeping plan. It starts with the small decisions you make every single day. Alright, we've just uncovered the deep logic behind rich habits. It's all about risk and probability. Understanding this lets you see your daily life from a whole new angle. Now, we were going to talk about something that might be even more shocking. How the wealthy really manage their relationships. You might imagine them as ruthless and calculating, but the research in this book shows the exact opposite. In the last section, we saw how daily habits are a system for risk control. Now, let's explore the second key to wealth, the rules of relationship management. The author found that a person's wealth level is almost identical to the average wealth level of their core social circle. Let that sink in. Many people think the rich build networks by constantly schmoozing, social climbing, and giving gifts. But the book shows that's not it at all. The vast majority of self-made millionaires follow a simple code built on respect and responsibility. First, They prioritize stable, long-term relationships. 80% of them make a point to call and wish people well on birthdays and anniversaries. They happily help others succeed without expecting anything in return. There's a story about a female entrepreneur with a unique habit. Every Friday afternoon, she'd spend an hour looking through her contacts, asking herself, who are 3 people I can help this week? Maybe she'd recommend a job, share a useful article, or just make an encouraging call. She did this for over a decade. The result? Whenever she needed help, someone was always there. Her success was built on the powerful trust she'd accumulated. The underlying logic is this. The wealthy know that a powerful network isn't about who you know. It's about who trusts you because you've genuinely created value for them. Second, they declutter their relationships. The author observed that wealthy people deliberately distance themselves from negative, complaining, and unambitious people. They understand that emotions and habits are contagious. Hanging around someone who constantly moans about how unfair life is will drain your energy and kill your focus. Think about Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. They aren't just business partners, they're lifelong friends. Their relationship is so effective because it's built on shared values like lifelong learning and absolute trust. This continuous support is the very foundation of their empire. In contrast, many of us fall into 2 traps. Ineffective socializing, frantically adding contacts on LinkedIn that we never speak to again, or detrimental socializing, where we're surrounded by friends who do nothing but complain and party. It feels lively, but years go by with no personal or financial growth. So starting today, manage your social circle like you manage your assets. Regularly ask yourself, which relationships are high-quality assets that empower you, and which are low-quality liabilities that just drag you down? Then, invest your time and energy in those high-quality assets. Call the people who matter instead of just liking their posts. Think about what value you can offer them, not what you can get from them. Your social circle is your net worth. Optimizing your circle is optimizing your wealth. Okay, so you've built good daily habits and a high-quality network. Does that mean the money will just start rolling in? Not quite. This final point is what determines whether you can actually keep the wealth you build. We've talked about how the wealthy build their trust capital through relationships. So once you have the skills, the network, and the income, what's the most crucial next step? It's making your money work for you. This is our third key point, the core strategy of wealth accumulation. The author made a startling discovery. Many low-income people don't lack opportunities. They lack money management habits. They spend what they earn, or even more, living on credit cards. In stark contrast, the vast majority of wealthy people follow one strict rule. Pay yourself first. What does this mean? It means the very first thing you do when you get paid before you pay bills. Before you pay off your credit card is to move a set percentage, usually 10 to 20%, into a savings or investment account that you don't touch. Then you live off what's left. The power of this habit is staggering. The book tells the story of Sarah, an ordinary woman living paycheck to paycheck. She decided to strictly follow the pay yourself first rule. Every payday, she automatically transferred 10% of her income into an index fund. At first it was tough, but after 5 years, she had not only paid off all her debt, but that insignificant account had grown into a substantial asset. The logic here is twofold. First, it's forced savings that fights our natural impulse to spend. Second, it harnesses the power of compound interest, the 8th wonder of the world. The wealthy understand this deeply. Every dollar they save and invest is another brick in their future wealth empire. The earlier you start, the faster that empire grows. Wealthy people also have another key habit. They clearly distinguish between consumption and investment. An investment is anything that will eventually put money in your pocket. A consumption expense is anything that takes money out of your pocket. They will happily spend on investments like education, health, and valuable assets. But they are extremely disciplined when it comes to consumption like luxury goods or the latest gadgets. Warren Buffett is the perfect example. He lives in the same modest house he bought decades ago. But the vast majority of his money is constantly being reinvested, allowing his wealth to grow exponentially. So reflect on your own monthly cash flow. Is it mostly going towards investing in your future or consuming in the present? Do you have an ironclad rule like pay yourself first to ensure your wealth is always growing? Your money habits directly determine your wealth ceiling. Let's quickly summarize the 3 core lessons from this book. First, the underlying logic of daily habits. They are a system for controlling risk and increasing your odds of success. Second, the rules of relationships. Your social circle is your net worth. Cultivate it through altruism and decluttering. And third, the core strategy for wealth accumulation. Pay yourself first. Distinguish between investment and consumption and let your money work for you. Together, these 3 habits create a powerful positive cycle. Good habits make you a better person. A better you attracts better relationships. And better relationships bring more opportunities and resources, which you can then grow with smart financial strategies. Changing habits truly is changing your destiny. The key isn't to try and change everything at once. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, just pick 1 or 2 things to start with. Maybe it's reading for 15 minutes a day, or automating a 10% savings transfer. Stick with it and let time do the rest. If this video inspired you, please don't forget to like, save, and share it with your friends. Every share could help someone you care about make a life-changing shift. Let's use knowledge to build our own financial freedom together. Thanks for watching.